What's up? This is Wes Scanlon. You're watching Jiggy Jag TV.
Okay, it is Jiggy Jag TV, Jigman Freud out here at the Red Shed, and it's going down like the Titanic's violinists. It's comedy night, return of the comedy man, and we have the host of the show with us. Go ahead and introduce yourselves.
My name's Tige Wright, and I host for Jeff Leeson on the road, yeah.
So, explain to me the concept of the show tonight, because in Canada you guys do it completely different than the United States. So.
Yeah, I didn't realize this was different until a couple years ago, but in Canada, the host, like the headliner's the strongest act, and then the host is the second. A lot of clubs do it basically, so the host that week is the headliner the next week.
Okay.
Right, and then that way they can mediate the show. Instead of having somebody that's new to comedy try and do a cold open on a show, you know, you have a professional comedian, you know, start everybody off, and then you have a less experienced comedian have their sets to a warm audience, right? And then they can mediate the show as needed, sort of thing. Like, say for some reason your feature act that was booked just doesn't jive with the audience, and the audience doesn't like them, you can bring it back up for the headliner. Or let's say the feature act is destroying, right? You can cool the audience off a little bit. Let's say your headliner is more of a low energy sort of headliner, and that's how it works up in Canada.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So earlier you said that you said something about, we were talking out there to Merle and everybody, Manitoba is where you go to get stabbed.
Specifically Winnipeg, if you want to get good
Winnipeg,
stabbed.
the home of Chris Benoit. Well,
yeah. I mean,
that would kind of shake out.
I got stabbed in Guelph, which is hilarious now because it's a very crunchy city. But yeah.
I've never heard of Guelph.
Guelph, it's just crunchy. It's just very, you know, if you're looking for somebody that's like vegan and very, like, they grow their own clothes, that's where you go. You go to Guelph for that. You want to get stabbed in Ontario, you're going to go to Windsor.
Windsor, Ontario?
Windsor, it's right across the street from Detroit. Detroit's got the guns. Windsor's going to stab you. But Hamilton will threaten to stab you, but they'll just beat the shit out of you. That's the thing.
What about Saskatoon?
Saskatoon? No, nothing's gonna happen to you in Saskatoon. They're just gonna be mildly rude to you, and they'll still invite you over for dinner.
That's awesome. So, okay, I've got to ask you. I'm sure you've been asked by a lot of people because of all the shenanigans. What do you think of these truckers screwing around up there in Canada?
Oh my God! I
see videos of people. Like, there's one of this guy who goes out and he's spinning around and he's like, I haven't been able to sleep in a fucking week.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Okay, so 90% of truckers are vaccinated. Right? And they can do their fucking jobs.
Yeah.
Can I swear? I'm so sorry.
You go ahead,
Okay,
brother.
great. All right, so 90% of the truckers are vaccinated and can do their jobs. And there's 10% that can't do their jobs, which is ridiculous because all it is they can't cross the border, right? Which is a U.S. law that you have to be vaccinated to cross the border. So there's a bunch of Canadians getting mad at Canada because they can't cross the border because of a U.S. law. That's how much thought has gone into this. And then, and their goals have changed. Like, hey, no more mandates. You know, there's a lot of mandates that have been made so that politicians can't do insider training. Are we just gonna get rid of that? Just get rid of all the mandates. The other thing is they're saying, oh, there's this many thousands of trucks, right? There are 330,000 truckers, I think, in the nation as a whole, and they're like, yeah, there's 50,000 at Ottawa, which is not. It's just basically they're taking pictures of a bunch of truckers lined up at the border, which I had to go through to get down here.
Yeah.
Jeff and I, we had to sit there and watch as a bunch of trucks lined up to try and cross the border to get here. And they're like, look at these guys, they're also protesting. No, they're truckers trying to do their job and deliver shit. And you're just in the way. Like, they're just dumb. I get it. I get you're frustrated. You don't want to be vaccinated and all that sort of stuff. But let's say you're not vaccinated and you want to deliver stuff. Find a buddy on the other side of the border that's also not vaccinated. Just swap trucks. Or just don't cross the border anymore and deliver trucks in your own province. Like, that's it. They're just being pissy, and I don't give a shit anymore. And if you're a trucker and you're mad about it, fucking lick me. I don't care.
So, how did you get involved in comedy?
Oh, as a kid, you go through a bunch of stuff. I come from a family where every generation goes through a ton of stuff, and comedy is how we deal with it. And then I got way too into stand-up comedy, and to the point where I annoyed everybody. And they're like, because you'd watch, you'd be like, I'm pretty sure I could do this. And like, okay, good, that's great.
That's all I got in the radio.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, there's a yucks here. Can you go do it and love it, or do it and hate it? Either way, go do it and shut the hell up. And that's what happened. I went and did it, and I fell in love immediately, yeah.
So if you were coaching an up-and-coming comedian, or you saw somebody who was a great comedian, but they needed just a little bit more polish to kind of get back going to where they were, what would you advise them?
Oh, I wouldn't tell them anything. I have nothing to offer.
Okay.
We're Canadian comedians. We're hilarious, and we have nowhere to go. That's why I'm in the U.S. right now. My admonition to Canadian comedians would be to go to the States. This is where entertainment grows.
That's right.
There's 4 successful North American comedians, and they all work in the U.S. Like Howie Mandel was a great stand-up comedian. He's American now. Leave. That's it. It sucks. It is so competitive in Canada. It's insane. And that's it. That's really it.
Why is it that Canada has pretty much the hottest women on record? Pamela Anderson's from there. All these hot women from the past are from Canada. Canada produces.
It's the same with comedians, right? Like Jim Carrey, you got Mike Myers, Ryan. You got hot dudes, Ryan Reynolds, Ryan Gosling. If you're gonna be anything in Canada, you have to be the most-ist of it. Whatever, hot-ist, funny-ist, all of that. So, like Celine Dion, show me somebody that can outdo Celine Dion. You got Whitney Houston. On level for sure. I think Whitney Houston outdoes her a little bit, but like if you're gonna get big in Canada, you got to be the ist, and that's what it is. There's a ton of absolute dogs in Canada that you don't see because we don't let them across the border. You know what I mean? That's why I'm not here as a hot guy. They wouldn't let me across as a hot guy.
They wouldn't let you across.
No, I don't get to apply.
Okay, I have to ask you a couple questions out of the book of stupid questions.
Oh,
I haven't done this in a heck of a
This is
long
exciting. This sounds like my text message conversation with people. The book of stupid questions.
What color of shag carpet best describes your personality?
Green.
What? Really?
Yeah. So maybe there's boogers. You don't know. Just go for it.
You never know. That's awesome. Okay. In a bar fight, would you be inclined to break a beer bottle to use it as a weapon, or to pick up a stool or crack it over your opponent's head?
A stool like the chair or a poo?
I get it doesn't really say so.
I'd crack a poo over someone's head just to fuck with them psychologically. It's like I've had enough of your shit, but it's my shit. I don't like using weapons unless it's being used on me. If I can reverse it, if somebody comes at me with a poo and I can turn the poo around, then yes, for sure. I've been stabbed enough times, I don't want to do that to somebody. It doesn't feel good.
It doesn't feel good.
I've been to Winnipeg.
Winnipeg. So is it true that Bret Hart, the professional wrestler, is like a Canadian hero? Or is it just him that thinks he's a Canadian hero?
Okay. As with most things in professional wrestling, it is whether or not you are a fan of professional wrestling.
Okay.
I am not a fan of professional wrestling, and that is only because I was raised by a professional boxer.
That's awesome.
So I was not allowed to watch professional wrestling. I had to watch people actually beat the shit out of each other, which is just great for a young mind. But from what I've heard, Bret Hart is a treasure.
Yeah, because it's like he portrays himself as like this big Canadian hero. But I've talked to a bunch of Canadians, and they're just like, well, yeah.
He's invited to the barbecue whenever he wants. You can come to my house, Bret.
That's awesome. Okay, before we let you go, how do we get a hold of you online? And
just at Tige Wright on everything. Just TIGEWRIGHT. Just check me out. I don't have a ton on YouTube. I think I actually deleted all my stuff on YouTube because I didn't like it. So TikTok,
didn't like it.
yeah. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Nothing useful. It's all just awful. I didn't realize how important social media was until like yesterday. And if you follow me, you'll see that it's not going to get better. Thank you.
Well, you are busier than a ferret in a jello fight, so thanks for doing this. And thanks for watching Jiggy Jag TV.